Weird. I'm already in the void. I'm not trying to get canceled again.
I don't like you.
You never did.
Let's take a look at Blade Trinity. Wesley Snipes' second to last performance as Blade, and the film that has some behind the scenes drama, especially with Ryan Reynolds and David S. Goyer, which makes it interesting, especially with the former after Deadpool and Wolverine. And this film, Blade, after the death of Abraham Whistler once again, and is wanted by the police. Teams up with Night Stalkers, specifically Abigail Whistler, played by Jessica Biel, and Hannibal Caine, played by Ryan Reynolds, to stop Dracula and his group of vampires. Um, and this film did, like I said, it has some behind the scenes drama, especially with the director David S. Goyer. And Wesley Snipes didn't get along with Ryan Reynolds. Thought he was a clown. And the film did not do well, both critically or financially. And it ended the trilogy on a sour note. Um, so what are my thoughts on Blade Trinity? It's fine. The film still has a lot of fun action sequences. Not as fun as the first or the second one though. It feels a little not as kick butt as or awesome as the first movie or the second one. It's not as stylish or as so much fun as the first one, as the first two. It still is fun, but not in the super stylish kind of fun, comic bookish way kind of fun. Um, I also thought the performances were not so bad. Wesley Snipes still kicks as Blade, and Ryan Reynolds does have some great, decent comedic timing as Hannibal Caine, where he's kind of like a prototype of Deadpool. And I think and this came out the same. I think this in 2004. This Ryan Reynolds started working on the Deadpool movie alongside David S. Goyer on New Line before Fox. And Jessica Biel is cool and attractive as Abigail Whistler. I thought she was very interesting, where she's like the daughter of Abraham Whistler, and her character arc, especially with the loss of a blind woman, as well as her friendship with Blade, where alongside the other Night Stalkers, Blade was a jerk and was not fond of them, especially after going through some terrible things throughout recently. Um, but the performances are decent. I also thought this film has probably the weakest villains. Um, I thought Blade 2 villains were decent and were were good, and Blade villains Deacon Frost is a very great villain. I really love him and love Deacon Frost. But Dracula and the other vampires, probably the closest one that I really thought I really like was the vampire that really hates Ryan Reynolds, like the female one, where she was was talking trash about Hannibal King and also was attacking him as well. She was kind of entertaining, but Dracula was kind of bland. He also doesn't have that much connection to Dracula, mainly because of no fancy suit nor the accent. Though at the same time, it's kind of unique to have just a unique Dracula instead of a traditional Dracula. His transformation was interesting. It's not super awesome because it's not used that much and was easily defeated by Abigail and Blade. But yeah, he was. Eh. Um, I also Thought the film kind of looked a little bland. The first Blade looked very awesome. I really love the visuals and the style and the look of that movie. And Blade 2 has a visually it looks very awesome. Looks awesome, but this one kind of looks a little bland to me, honest with you. It really does. Um, but again, the fight scenes are very fun, including the climax when Hannibal and Abigail rescue Blade. That was a fun sequence. I also thought Ryan Reynolds as the narrator was kind of hilarious, but it I it was interesting since he was acting like actually he was actually narrating with his like swearing and acting goofy, but taking it a little bit seriously. Um, and I also thought Penn Aswell was okay, and the vampire dogs were interesting. New type of vampires. And yeah, overall, Blade Trinity is not as bad as people say it is, but it's not as good as the first two movies. I would watch this though, rewatch it to be exact. So yeah, so that's my review of Blade Trinity, released back in 2004. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Blade Trinity. Also, would you guys want to see a Blade movie that's kind of like a Logan send-off to him, to Wesley Snipes? Or do you still want to see the Mahershala Ali's Blade? Let me know.